Hello, I'm Wildike, and welcome to a video on Ancestral Arrival in Lootfiend. So this is a new event, and the event is only available if your server is 50 days or older, and if you have gone through Umbra 180. So if you have done that, you'll end up on this screen after a little cutscene, which you can review by going on replay here. And you'll want to look at the version introduction if you don't really know what the event is. And this will just kind of tell you a quick overview of what's going on. It's new Umbra with different Umbra rewards, and they have different rerolls, different stats, and then there's a couple little event things like little quests and rewards you can get. So if you go to version rating here, this is where you'll see some of the different quests that you can do, and you'll have different rewards here, and this is one of the ways you'll get the new key item for this new Umbra. It does not use the same Umbra key that you used normally. So if you click here, this is how you actually get to the new Umbra. I haven't done much of it yet, but if you click on the eye here, you'll see new affixes that the enemies and bosses can have. And some of them are going to be very dangerous, and a lot of people do struggle with certain ones. So you might take a bunch of attempts in order to actually clear a floor. So just warning you that this does tend to be a lot harder than the normal Umbra. You can click the eye here, as you can with anytime the eye shows up somewhere, you can click it and it'll kind of give you a quick description of what's going on. And so this will kind of tell you what's actually going on with this new Umbra, ancestral magic keys, and there's the magic keys, and so on and so on. This is an actual overview of the Umbra the screen itself, not just the Ancestral. So if you want, you can read through that yourself, but I don't think I need to. You can see the new drops right on here, and the fact that it also drops the same chest that you can get from normal Umbra. And you have the auto run, same thing as normal Umbra, as long as you have bought it from the lifetime and monthly. You have your rank here, and this is for your server only, I believe. And then up here you have Ancestral Carnival, and this is going to be daily quests for the event, as well as new pack stuff. It's the same sort of, not quite 7-day, but it'll be the same kind of idea as those 7-day calendar events. And you have new artifacts in here, new skins. And then down here you have Ancestral Vault, and this eye you can click as well, again. And the general idea for this is you'll get different quests, and as you do them, you'll have different choices here. And once this vault is open, you can choose one of the options from the quests that you have done. Now, if you've completed all the quests, you can open the vault early. And if you have the lifetime pass, which lifetime pass here, it's called Ancestral just for this event, but it's the same as your lifetime pass, you will end up getting an extra option you can choose for this. This part's not out yet. And then up here you have Ancestral Fund, so if you want to spend a little money to get more of the keys for it, you have all these options here. Up here, these are the vouchers, which if you don't know, the game has a top-up site where you can get these if you want to use that instead of paying directly in the game. Just going through these. And then you have your Ancestral Privilege. If you have monthly and lifetime, you will get these for free based on your monthly and lifetime. So if you already have those, you do not need to buy these separately. You have your Ancestral Pass here, and these are some extra things you can buy if you want to. Otherwise, they're just some free little rewards for the basic, and you have some quests that you can do for here. So that's about it for this screen, but next up we'll have to go over some of the Umbra changes. Now if you go to your umbra and you go to codex, you can actually check the codex to see some of the options here. And you'll see now down here you have Ancestral Realm and Primal Adventure. Primal Adventure is the one that you're more used to seeing. And then Ancestral Realm, this is going to be the new ones. So you have Ancestral Umbra here, and then you have Primal Fable Umbra here. However, these ones have a purple outline to them, and they have some extra stats compared to the old ones. And the Umbra effect is also different. Here you have Forge Remnant, which is the ancestral version of Cinder. And so this one has chance to increase haste by 35% for 5 seconds when using core skills based on your crit chance, and its 1% crit chance adds 1% trigger chance. Now if you end up comparing that to the standard version of the weapon, here, core skill MP cost plus 20%, skill damage plus 20%, and skill crit damage plus 50%. And the attack stat is also lower. So you can see that the effects on them have changed. So this is the same case for every umbra. So you'll want to make sure you're looking at what the new effects are when you're trying to get your build going and trying to make your own builds. And one other thing you might notice is these have the 6 different affix slots, whereas when you go to the ancestral ones, this only has 4 here, and then you get the other 2 from forging. And one of the things with this is that they can actually have completely different effects from the normal ones that you're used to. So here you can see high spirit level, and you can click that and you can see what high spirit does. You have hack, execute, and these are like different passives and everything. You can actually, like this one gives you the same effect that the passive execute would kind of give you, a little bit different on some of the numbers maybe. So you'll want to look at the different affixes, and it's always worth noting that different slots might be able to have different affixes, same as it was with the normal umbra. But you have physical damage, you have ice damage now, electric, fire, you have all sorts of different stats, including luck now. So you'll want to look for different affixes on these new pieces. Now there's an extra tier above those ones, which is the Ancestral, and this changes the effect even more, and it gives you more attack. So this one, Ancestor, when using the core skill, there is a chance to increase haste by 45% for 5 seconds, and this chance is based on your crit chance, and 1% crit gives you 1% trigger. Now this one specifically doesn't really change all that much, however you can see there's the haste chance went up, and some of them do change a little more drastically. You'll want to go through this for pretty much all umbra and make sure you look when you're changing all your stuff, whatever you want to do, making your builds. And then there's the sets. Now one thing to note with these is you can wear 4 pieces of this set, and you can wear pieces of the normal Primal Adventure set that you're used to while you're getting going. So these are basically buffed up versions of the normal sets you would be used to. So this one is for Heavy Blow. So you'll see the 2-piece, it's very similar, buffed up numbers, and then they add different effects on these that do all sorts of different stuff compared to the normal umbra ones that you're used to. So even the sets are different than what you're used to. And like this 6th one, which normally buffed up one of the ultimates, after triggering Warhammer, the next Heavy Blow MP cost is reduced by 50%, skill damage plus 50%. When using the ultimate skill, you gain Divine Descent, increasing your body size, your damage enhancement, and then during this, your number of Warhammer strikes doubles, which your Warhammer strikes are your Heavy Blow. So you'll want to make sure that you're going through these and you're actually seeing what the new effects are instead of just trying to stick to the same builds that you have been using. Now it will take a while before you actually start to get this, but you will end up getting the sets, and you might want to start changing up what you're doing a little bit there. Now, one thing to note is the black market now has these ancestral magic keys, and for these you aren't actually paying gold or anything, you're spending magic keys to get ancestral magic keys. So each day you're able to trade 20 magic keys for 20 ancestral magic keys. And then down here you have these. You trade one Lois's boon for a Nokos' mercy. And you can do this 10 times. And these ones are for those purple bordered ancestral ones. Now onto rerolling and foraging. If you have some of the lifetime and monthly stuff, you'll see some of the bonuses were extra ancestral free rerolls. So I could click on this one, and if I wanted haste or something, I could reroll this 5 times a day. However, it will still take one of your 2 rerolled affixes as the same as normal. So I could look for haste, and I can just hit continue rerolling if I don't want to grab that one. So there's some nice little quality of life there. And it also just helps you save on some of the costs for rerolling, which can get very expensive. And then in the forging, you have your umbra in here, and you'll notice you unlock the next one at forge level 3, and then you unlock the final one at forge level 6. And once per day, if you have one of the passes, you will be able to get a full return when you recycle. So normally when you recycled, you were only getting a percentage of the materials back. However, with this, you can get all of them back once per day. Now, one last thing to note with the whole forging is that now you can actually kind of trade in some of your lower forge stones for higher forge stones. So you can turn the blues into purples, and you can turn the purples into the crimson gold ones. So this way you don't have to just sit there with 400 purples. You can turn them into the gold ones now. Now, we don't exactly have like best builds or anything done yet. Normally, like if you looked at the wiki, you might be using the wiki builds. We do not have those set yet. However, hopefully this video does kind of help you get going in the event, learn the event a little bit, and maybe you learn about some of the shop items that you didn't know about before. See you next time.